Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode, hey Vinny, to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther III, and now from the top of Metal Mountain in the middle of the mosh pit, it's the Happy Heel himself, not sponsored by Coca-Cola, the Metal.
No, you're not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but sponsored by Monster. What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, International? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going? We're born here from the middle of the mosh pit, Joe. How's it going today? It's going to be a little bit messy over here.
Yes, all those balloons and those broken fireworks. Did you get the sweeper to come sweep out that mosh pit yet, Geek? Because like old fireworks in there for like last year, and like
there's some broken monster cans.
It's empty, and it's gonna get dangerous because someone's gonna get hurt. Those monster cans are metal. Like someone's gonna step on it and break a neck and sue your ass.
So Joe, we ready to introduce the guests? Let's go on this happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Happy Wrestling Sunday, by the way, Geek. Enjoy Creative Pro Wrestling.
Creative Pro, big show today. We're gonna crown a brand new Creative Pro champion. Well, they are. Anyway. All right. Okay. Anyway, let's introduce the guest, Joe. Let's introduce the guest. All right.
We love you guys in the UK, and we love CPW. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the new young CPW champion, Violent Knight.
Hi.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Yes, I hope I didn't say your name wrong. I hope I didn't butcher your title wrong. The title you currently hold in CPW.
I've got it with me.
Oh, you do? You have the belt? Yeah. Yay!
Yeah, the belt. Show the belt off. Show the belt off.
Oh yes. It looks
that's
different.
That's a beautiful belt.
They shined it up a lot more. It looks different.
That's a beautiful belt, by the way.
Pride and joy.
Yes.
Is it heavy? Moment.
Is it heavy?
It's heavier than it looks.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. It's not ridiculously heavy though.
Yeah. So if our American fans and fans from all over the world are not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
So my name is Violent Knight. I'm professional wrestler on the indie scene. Don't really have a set promotion at the moment. Floating between as many as I can, but my new home will be Top Turnbuckle Wrestling, which is a brand new promotion where some of us have set it up. And our first show is in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be my new home promotion. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Awesome.
Awesome. So anyway, we get right off the bat. We already have a question from the crowd right now. She wants to know: is this her first championship belt? They want to know.
Yeah, this is. I won it on my debut at CPW against Harley Faith.
Wow.
Very strong competition. Really strong competition. I've worked with her before, or wrestled her before. But last time she cheated and used a bat. So this time I got my own back and won a belt.
Awesome.
Good evening. Hey, Taylor, what's going on, dude? Looking forward to
back.
What's up, dude?
He's been missed.
Yeah, he's been missed in our chat, man. Look how the show goes.
It's so funny. He would even come in when we were on like 8 o'clock US time, and we're like, I was going, Tyler, it's like 11. We geek no time zone down in the UK. It's like 11 o'clock or like 2 o'clock in the morning in the UK. No, what are you doing? Yeah. So you got the next question, Geek, or did I already ask it?
He said he's always watching, Joe.
That's good.
And then our buddy Axel's in the chat. He goes, "Geek rules," and then there's Joe.
Well, remember this: without Joe, there is no Geek.
So how did you get your start in the wrestling business, Violet?
So for me, there was a mixture of things. So the film Fighting with My Family about Paige, that had a big part to play in that. Me getting into wrestling. I kind of watched it and I was like, if she can do it, why can't I? And also my little brother, him and all his friends were like massively into it, playing with figures and stuff like that. And I just was playing on the like PlayStation with himself. I was like, I want to give this a go. I think I'd be all right at this. And we went to watch a local promotion, watch their show, who I used to train with, and I just kind of went from there and asked about the training, and here I am today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
we have
so-
a question from the chat.
no, I was just about to mention what Violet said. It's like Paige is such an inspiration in British wrestling because we've had so many guests on our podcast that say, "Wow, Paige is the biggest inspiration today in British wrestling." One of the biggest
For
inspirations,
females especially.
yeah, because she has her
Yeah.
own movie, Joe. So think about it,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Wow, they want to do it that someday."
She's
you know
who a
what I
lot
mean?
I aspire to be on her level, and would be
Yeah.
a dream match one day for me.
And also her mom owns WAW. That's
Yeah.
what she usually goes when she comes back to England. That's like the
Yeah.
big place she always hits up is I always say the name wrong. WAW Bellatrix. I always say Bellatrix.
Bellatrix, you're right. You're correct.
It
Yeah,
always sounds like
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix to me. Though I'm like Bella. Why can't I? I always add. I'm like I can't find. Oh, BE.
Yeah.
Bellatrix. Yeah. Yeah. So Geek. There's a question in the chat.
So who has been Violet's favorite opponent this far? They want to know.
That's really difficult question because everyone I've worked with is or wrestled against has been really good, different styles. So I had Nadia Sapphire as my debut, who is very more catty, like very more catty sort of style. And then I had Harley Faith the following match, and that was a little bit more of a brawl type match. But I don't know, there's been quite a few opponents, and my top two at the moment are, I'd say, Kiara and Harley Faith. And I seem to be getting a lot going with Harley and Kiara feud-wise at the moment, which is really nice.
If you want to speak about Kiara, we could
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
we could talk a little bit about Kiara right
Yeah.
now. So
So we have wrestled a couple of times. Definitely building up a good feud, which is always exciting because you can always just build and build and build. And she's actually my first opponent at this new promotion, Top Turnbuckle Wrestling. She's my very first opponent, and she's not going to be the last time I wrestle her there because I'm going to prove like she needs to come back and prove something. But yeah, Kiara, she's really good to work with. Really good competition, and can't wait to beat her the next time. See ya.
yeah, has Kiara given you any advice when you were working with her, or?
Yeah, because she's obviously been around longer than me in that, and it's for me. I find it's always the smaller things that I notice for my own sort of wrestling. So I'll be like, okay, that needs to improve, and it's always the smaller details for me, and I always get that feedback, and I always really take that on board and really appreciate it. But yeah.
So is there any like wrestlers in the UK or like the ones you've been watching on YouTube or like Instagram that you like have on your list of like wrestlers you want to wrestle with that you haven't done yet?
So I would love to wrestle Paige's mom, Soraya.
Yeah.
I think that would be an amazing sort of match. So one of them up there. But another one is Chantel Jordan. Singles match though, because I've got a next weekend actually. It's an elimination match. But I'd love to wrestle her singles match, 1-on-1. There's that many. It's just my brain's gone and I can't remember them all. But anyone and everyone really. I want the opportunity to wrestle whoever I can, whenever I can, really. But Soraya is definitely up there.
Yeah. Who would you say favorite promotions to work for, and would like to work for in the future?
Ooh. That's difficult. I love a promotion that have a good loyal crowd, that really are interactive with you and really get into the show. So I found the main promotions for that at the moment have been PWL, Pro Wrestling Live, and RWS, Ring Wrestling Stars. Them two, the crowds are so into the wrestling, and and CPW, their crowd are amazing, and they're three promotions. I couldn't pick between the three, but CPW is one I wanted to work for since I started getting on the circuit, and I finally got that. But I love working with a promotion that's got a really good crowd behind them.
Awesome.
Axel says that Violet versus Masha would be a really good match.
Oh, geez. I've seen her matches, but have you ever seen Masha wrestle before? I get the chills on my throat,
On
like the
Impact?
Rocky voice. I'm like,
I haven't. No, I haven't watched much of Impact, to be honest with you. So I'll have to go away and have a look and have a watch and see.
I got that nervous Key and Peele sweat down the middle of my forehead. I'm like, what are you tossing poor Violet versus a bear? Like, that's Masha Slamovich.
Yeah.
Like, no, geek. What are you doing?
You got to think about it this way. Every single wrestler wants to wrestle everybody. You know?
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong on that one? So, like,
Yeah.
everybody wants to prove that they're the best. So.
Yeah. I love technical wrestling personally, so I love that style, and I would like to try and incorporate that as much as possible into my matches. And I want to be a technical wrestler and known for being technical. So that's my main priority to work on, is as much technical as possible.
Ooh.
And then
that would be a good match. Oh yeah.
I hope Violet and Kiara have a best of 5 series in any promotion.
Potentially could be something like that in the works. Maybe not 5, but maybe a fair few. Maybe a good feud, a good fair few matches. Have to wait and see.
Well, all I remember is when I wasn't feeling good during the pandemic. When you send me those matches, I watched both of them and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I like watching matches that people send us. I was like, cool.
Yeah, it's so difficult to get footage sometimes because I have to get people to film it for me, and sometimes there's people filming the shows, but you never get the footage back. So when I do get the footage or it's on YouTube or something, I love to try and promote it and put it on my socials and put a link to it and do what I can to have everyone see, because I like to watch it back myself and criticize myself, but it's all good.
Yeah. So is there any places that you would love to travel to that you have not traveled to yet?
So my main bucket list place to go is Japan, and train over in Japan for a while, because I know how much they love it and treat it like an actual sport, which I think a lot of people don't realise. To an extent, it is a real sport. And that's one place. And also Italy. I don't know, Italy's always been one I'm like, that'd be quite cool to wrestle there. So them two places, mainly Japan.
There's a couple of great people in Italy that we know that would mix up real well. Joe, right?
Like, we know of Emily Ramirez. You should definitely check her out. Her character's like a Beamish character. And then there's Camila. There's like a ballet. She does she literally wrestles like the ballet doll. She'll like stand there and stare at you, and then she'll go to grab you. It's like kind of cool. They're very theatric in Italy. Geek will tell you they're very
theatric. Like they more put it on like it's like a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Germany too.
Germany's another place. Anywhere and everywhere. I'd like to tour Europe, Austria. But I think I love going and watching places from different and seeing the different styles and how it changes between, like, say, America, and then you have Austria and Japan, and how every style is very different. I love the old school British style. That's what I want to revive, because I feel like it's dying out, and I feel like it'd be something great, especially for the female. It stands out.
Yeah, the person in the chat, that would be a good match. Queen Maya versus you. Oh yeah, She's an Italian wrestler. That's the Queen Maya. Oh my gosh, she's another good wrestler. Actually, it's funny. Sorry.
Trixie and who's Trixie? Trixie and Queen Maya.
Maybe there's a
Italy.
Trixie, like Trixie, the American Trixie. Maybe there's a Trixie in Italy that we don't know about.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny he mentioned Queen Maya. I actually had a match between you and Queen Maya on WWE 2K22. You won the match, of course.
Of course.
You won. Yeah.
Did you happen to watch the Elimination Chamber or?
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I haven't finished the last match of the Royal Rumble. I've watched it. I've been that busy. I haven't had a chance to watch it or finish it. So that, and then the Elimination Chamber, I do really want to watch because I love watching that one.
It's worth the pay-per-view to watch, top to bottom. It was really, really that good.
And it's crazy for you guys in the UK, like with pay-per-views, like it starts like 8 o'clock here. Does that like affect the wrestlers that want to watch WWE content with the time difference?
So it'll either be people who watch it the following day, which I find I tend to do because I can't stay up that late. But I find normally, on average, the pay-per-view start like 1 o'clock in the morning here. It's between 12 and 1. So it's definitely one of them is you've got to be willing to stay up to watch it. Otherwise, you watch it the following day and sorry. But
okay.
There's a group of us that we'll like go and watch it together. So we go to someone's house and we'll just spend the day or the evening watching whatever pay-per-view. But we'll also watch the New Japan stuff. So we all just sit and watch wrestling together, and it's nice because when wrestlers watch wrestling with wrestlers, you comment and you look at the psychology of stuff more. And I definitely think that as a wrestler, I'll watch matches and I'll be like, okay, they've done this here, or that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense, or I really critique it a lot differently.
Mm-hmm. I forgot that Trixie changed her name and now goes by the name
Electra. Oh my God, that would be a phenomenal match. You got to look up Electra from Italy. She does do submission. So if I was booking this match right now, WWE 2K22 style, I would have you versus Electra submission match.
Yes, because I love a good submission.
Yeah, I love or how would you feel about an Iron Woman match?
Yes. I want to do my dream match at the moment is a steel cage match.
Mm-hmm.
Bit mad, but I don't know. I think that'll be quite fun because you get creative freedom and it's a bit brutal. I like the brutality side of it sometimes. I like to be a bit outside the box, and if there's railings, throw me on the railings, throw me into the post, throw me into the door.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good, then that's all that matters, in my opinion.
Yeah, would you ever consider doing a hardcore match or?
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. I do want to do a last man standing match. I think that would be really good, and a lumberjack match. That is one I really want to do.
Yeah,
seem like such fun.
Yeah. So what is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not the healthiest of eaters, but do love chocolate cake.
There you go. Okay. Big glass of milk with the chocolate cup.
I don't drink milk. I don't like milk, but sorry, my screen had gone weird. But yeah, I love chocolate cake, and I do love the Chip Ahoy cookies.
Ooh, Chips Ahoy,
soft ones.
Oh, yeah, I don't like the crunchy ones. They don't when they're crunchy. They have that weird taste.
The soft ones are the best ones, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love a lot of American snacks, to be honest with you. I've got some family that live in Utah, and my uncle flies back and forth a lot for work. So we always get like the Halloween stuff and the Christmas stuff, and even Easter. It's mad, but we get all some weird and wondrous. The Idaho mash. instant mash, Idaho.
Mm.
That's probably
Yeah.
my favorite food, actually.
Yeah. Is there any like different different foods like when like Chips Ahoy or anything like that? Because like sometimes they'll make certain foods for that country. Like they'll make ketchup Chips Ahoy or something like that, and they won't bring it out here in America. It'll be like the weirdest thing.
I don't really know. The food I find is because I came over to America for a family holiday years ago, and you do see a lot of difference. Like the beef jerky, there's nothing like the Jack Links one. There's
Yeah.
nothing like that over here. It's like just not a thing. The only one they sell is the one that's American, and that's difficult to get hold of. But there's nothing I could think of that they're trying to do quite similar or have certain flavours of. But I like that because it means that it's more special to America, and when we get it, it's more like, oh, we got this, and no one can get it.
Yeah. It's so much different stuff, and like the rich countries like would have like certain like what's like a decadent chocolate or something like that that's super expensive, and they'll be like, yeah, we have these Chips Ahoy over here. They're like so expensive, and then it's like, yeah, thanks.
There's
Right?
certain things that me and my dad and I were talking because I work in a grocery store that they don't sell in the UK. Like I forgot the food that they were saying. Oh, Mountain Dew. I don't know if it's now, but back
Yeah,
in, there was no Mountain Dew in England. What's the other one that they said that they don't sell? It was like a food, like a snack that everybody loves. Oh, Ritz crackers.
yeah,
You know,
we don't have them. We have something called mini cheddars, which are slightly different, but they're very similar sort of things. They're like very much like the same type of snack, just we have mini cheddars, which I'm not a massive cracker person, so I don't really like either. But yeah, that's like something that's quite similar. We do have Mountain Dew over here.
oh, you got Mountain Dew now finally. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get it
Yeah.
in every shop. It's only certain places that will sell it.
Yeah, there's a store in the mall actually. It's imported like supermarket, not supermarket, but like just like a little shop, and it's like, oh, it's like imported Lay's potato chips from Japan or something like that, and I'll be like, wow, but it's super expensive. It's super expensive because it's actually imported, literally imported. They send it over here, and I'm like, geez, man,
They have
right?
one in I think Queens or Brooklyn like that too, because they were talking about on CBS one morning because they were talking about imported stuff that they're having trouble getting now because it was the pandemic fully going on and people wanted to go in and get the food and they were like, but we're having trouble. Well, we're having limited problems getting this stuff in. Yeah. But I guess I'm glad you guys got Mountain Dew finally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wish we had the Chip Ahoy cookies more often. Like, I absolutely adore them. I could eat them all day. Like,
Yeah.
they don't sell them over here, and they definitely sell like the is it the Jolly Ranchers and the
Oh yeah, Jolly Ranchers, yeah.
what the Mike and Ike's. I absolutely used to love them. I used to eat them all the time. You can't buy them unless you go to an American sweet shop, and they're stupid prices and way too overpriced.
we got some questions right here. It's like, who are some of Violet's favorite wrestlers to watch, and what companies? Which companies you watch?
That's a good. I personally love John Moxley. I know he's quite a controversial character, but I love him and I love watching his stuff. Will Ospreay,
Osprey's awesome.
yeah, and
He
since
is.
he's toned back his moveset, I found he's been even better.
Mhm.
And probably one of my top guys is Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
it's what I aspire to be technical wise. Like,
Mhm.
I want to be known for being like that style all the time.
Mhm.
But old school guys, I love watching a lot of Johnny Say and Eddie Guerrero. A lot of the old school guys. And there's a training school up about an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I live, and Marty Jones is the head trainer there. And I went up yesterday to see him. in a couple of weekends, Johnny Saint's coming to do like a seminar, so I'm really looking forward to that and actually meeting him and seeing what he has to say, like advice and that. I think that's always interesting to hear from someone that's so old school.
There was so much good British wrestlers. I remember watching Joe. I don't know if you remember them, like Jody Flesh and Johnny Storm. Those guys.
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm.
I know Johnny Storm, not really well, but I've been on a fair few shows with him, and he is lovely, and he's a really good worker, really good wrestler.
Yeah, and Doug Williams is another great British wrestler. You know, I remember watching
him.
What's up?
I've been on a show with Doug Williams, who's on the same show as me. Just for me, that's mad. Like, to think I'd ever be on a show with them is mad, and there they are, and it's just mental.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's another one. I don't know if you're familiar with Nathan Cruz.
That name rings a bell.
Or what's her name? Madison Miles?
I think so, yeah. I think that rings. Yeah, I think I know who you're about. It's like a lot of the names, like I do.
She's not older, but she's been in the indie wrestling for like a long time. And so does Nathan Cruz. He was over here. Was it last July?
Yeah. He was in the States. He was in the States.
In
actually.
Texas. Wasn't he in Texas? No, it was
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Never see North Carolina the same ever again since the announcer from AEW. Like if I'm reading something, I'm like, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina.
No, Joe, that's not how it goes. No, it's Joe. It's North Carolina. I have to sound
normal when I say it because I don't want to sound like a weirdo. I'm gonna be like, I'm saying the words like New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida, Georgia. Like my friends are like, you had to go like caps lock on me, Joe, and you said North Carolina. I'm like, it's stuck. I can't.
It's Kenny's fault. It's all Kenny's fault now, man. It's all Kenny's fault.
You can never say the word the same ever again.
So. Yeah. But so another great, like I said, Doug Williams with the Chaos Theory. I think that was a revolutionary move for that time, man. You know?
Yeah. I love watching just old school stuff, just picking up what I can from there, and where I can, I love to try and talk to guys like new and old, and people who are just getting out there like I am, or people who've been out there years and really well known. It's always good to try and get advice off them, because every piece of advice may not be amazing, but it's something. And I always try and take on board where I can and listen. And if a fan says, "Oh, that didn't work, that was rubbish," I'll take it with a pinch of salt. But then I will also look back and say, "Well, was it? And well, do I need to change it?" But I never try and ignore anyone's advice, because I think all of it's important to take and take on. Yeah.
That's the most important part of it. Like, if you're at a show and a fan tells you something, for us it's hard because we're doing this all the time with people. We try to change the way we do every time, but there's certain things I can't. Like I'll say, "Oh, change your intro." I'm like, do you realize that intro is not written on a piece of paper? Like nobody's holding on a cue card behind my laptop. That's my memory bank. Yeah. That's something that's personal to me. I just make it sound cool.
We mentioned other British wrestlers. You also forgot to mention Nick Aldis right there.
Oh yeah, Nick Aldis. Oh, Lunatrix, which is in the match that you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with her. That I'm really looking forward to that match next weekend. It's it's like my first kind of hardcore sort of match.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do and how far I can push myself, because it's definitely going to push me out of my comfort zone, but definitely in a good way, because it'll just make me a better wrestler. No matter what.
We actually have a poster for the event, if you don't mind if we show it.
Yeah.
So if we could just cue this up, Joe, right?
Yep.
Drum roll, please. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
You can just about see my belt.
Oh yeah, you could see that the top end of it is.
I just have that distinct pose, so for me that's difficult not to do. And
so for the fans that don't know, what is it? I mean, me and Joe know, but what is a death row match exactly?
So this style is elimination chamber style. So you'll have 2 girls start in the middle, like the elimination chamber would. And then the other 4 of us will be cable tied to the ropes. And every, I think it's 90 seconds, they're going to shine a light, and whoever it lands on, they'll cut them free, and you do whatever. But there's no hold bars, no DQ. Literally anything goes. So if you want to use thumbtacks, you can use thumbtacks. If you want to hit someone with your belt, you can hit someone with your belt.
So there's no DQ, right? It's just a hardcore match, right?
It's just pin and win, basically. And I'm really, really looking forward to that.
The big competitors in that match too: Luna Rocks, Luna Tricks, Car. Am I saying your name wrong? Kari? Is it Kari?
Kari. I'm not 100% sure myself.
I always forget the name of the girl in the corner with the really short hair. I've seen
Harley
her.
Faith. That's who Harley Faith.
Harley Faith. Oh my! I've seen her a lot. I watched the YouTube channel. She's a good. She's been there for a while, right? She's been
brilliant wrestler. I love working with her, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring with her next weekend.
Yeah. I mentioned Jordan Breaks, Joel Redmond, and Mars Haskins are some of the best technical wrestlers in the UK currently. So
yeah, Joel Redmond.
You know, I'm surprised it's not in that match again. I'm surprised Shorty's not in the match again this time.
Yeah, I do want to wrestle Shorty.
She's another good one. Shorty and it's Kiara, of course. Shorty, Alfie. That's another one.
I worked with Alfie.
She likes hardcore stuff. She likes swinging the chair.
Mia Cortez. She's another one that loves just hardcore and doing whatever. So she's good to work with.
So, where do you see? In my final question, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Ideally,
yeah,
in somewhere like WWE, like real mainstream, full-time career. That's where I see myself in the next 10 years. Give myself. That's where since day one, I've wanted to get to there. And I think at the moment in the last year, I've only done 20 matches so far. Today was my 20th, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when I first started training at the school I trained at, we were doing 1 show a month, which is pretty standard for wrestling schools over the UK. 1 to 2 is about average. And I really wanted to expand and build up my matches and build up a name for myself elsewhere. So I started just doing other matches, and it just snowballed, and I just kind of they just come to me now. The booking just come to me. I still go out looking for it, but it just happens.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Joe, you have a final question, or
you asked the 5 to 10 year question. So, have you ever been told? Has a male or female child fan ever come up to you and say that I want to do what you do? What do you have any advice for them for the future, like that kind of thing?
I've never had anyone come up to me yet and say that they want to do it because of me, but I've definitely noticed people like me having a big input in it from the people who go and see my shows on the indie scene and see me wrestle, and the little girls and the little boys, and they're like, oh, look up to me, and I want to be that role model to them, and I want them to do it because of me. I want to be the next Paige. In essence, I want people to like. For me, it's more about the little boys and girls who say, I wanna be like you. And for me that really means a lot, because I'm like, I'm just any other wrestler that's on the scene wrestling, but I naturally just connect with them, I think, because I'm a lot younger than a lot of people on the scene now. And going into it at a young age and having such a naturally nice personality and face, it definitely helps. And I just love when you get people coming over and wanting photos and just wanting to give you a hug more than anything. It's just, it just melts my heart. And it's why I keep doing the shows I do, and part of the reason why I love and keep doing it.
Awesome.
And we have one more fan question, if we could wrap it up real quick.
Yes.
Does Violet have a finisher, and if so, what is it called, the move itself?
So I have one finish. Well, my finish is a spear, but I do have a couple of what's the word?
Setup moves?
I have a couple of my own particular moves that I do. So my main move set is an insecurity off like the knee. I'll do a Russian leg sweep in a cravat, which is always quite nice because no one sees it. Spear, I'll do a Boston crab, figure four leg lock. Natural selection. If you can't tell, I get a lot from Charlotte Flair, but it works.
Yeah.
And I like to try and come up with my own stuff. I always try and mess around and see if I can find my own way of getting into different moves or submissions. So one I've got is a rolling armbar, which no one ever sees, which everyone loves.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It
sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely try and put that on in one of my matches soon. So hopefully I'll have some footage of that to put up. But it's definitely different. It definitely stands out, which is always what I want.
We want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Do you have any
your match next week too?
Do you have any upcoming?
Sorry.
Good.
You have any upcoming shows besides the match that's on the 25th?
So yeah, I'm pretty busy at the moment. I've got the one next weekend, and then I've got after that can't remember exactly where I am. I'm doing a show up in Oldham, which is for Marty Jones, and then the week after that, I'm doing our first ever show at Top Turnbuckle Wrestling, which is going to be absolutely amazing. I really hope we get a sellout. And then the week after that, I've got CPW again, and then I've got 2 weeks off, which is
wow.
It's really nice. And then I'm back on it for a couple of weeks. But it's nice when you get constant stuff. It's nice to have something like so many shows going on. And it's also nice when you have 1-2 weeks of doing absolutely nothing, have a rest and recover, because it definitely takes it out of you being on the road so much. And for me, I don't stay overnight anywhere after a show. I like do my show and I'll go home. And so that means getting back at 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. But I'd rather be home than stay somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have any social medias that you want to plug right now, like merch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anything?
So my Instagram is just my name at the bottom. So it'd be VioletNyte_22, which is just one word. And then Facebook, and then Twitter. It's all the same name, and then it's the same username on everything. And then all my matches, if you just search Violet Nyte Rest on YouTube, what I've got on there tends to come up. And yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for coming on.
Good luck in all your upcoming matches. I'm Joe Panther III.
I'm the Metal Geek.
I'm Violet Nyte.
Do you have your belt?
I have a belt.
The belt. Oh, you got to raise the belt.
There
you go.
Oh, there you go. It's a bit shiny.
All right. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yep.
See ya.
See you later.